Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along to the third webinar in our series of webinars that we've been carrying out over the past few months. My name is Tom McArdle. I'm the practice lead for business applications in Codec-dss. I'm on my own for the webinar today. Larry Tobin is actually off on leave this week, so I'm left to do my own introduction. So today we're going to be covering case management and ticketing within Dynamics CRM. So in the past two webinars we covered sales pipeline management and marketing. So this is sales service management is the third module in CRM that comes out of the box, and it's designed for use by help desks, for example, or any organization where you interact with customers and where you have support agreements with those customers. It can be used and configured to manage that process for you. So I'm just going to share my screen, so you should be able to see that now. And we're going to start off. This is Dynamics CRM that's opened up on my desktop at the moment, and at the moment I have Dynamics CRM configured to have my cases functionality from within the services menu. So we're going to start off by looking at cases themselves. So cases are really the main record type which is used within the Dynamics CRM services module, and cases are the record that records all the details related to the incident or ticket or support call that you're dealing with. There's a number of ways for a ticket or for a case to be created in Dynamics CRM. The most simple way, I suppose, is to create the record manually, but you can also create tickets either via email. So there's functionality integrated into Microsoft Outlook, which allows you to take an incoming email, track that email in CRM, and then convert it to a case using this button. So if you have your customers contacting you with problems that they're experiencing, you can use the out-of-the-box functionality in Dynamics CRM and the Outlook connector for CRM to take that incoming email and use the details of that email and convert it to a case in Dynamics CRM. A third way of getting case records into CRM is via what's called the customer portal. And the customer portal is what you see in front of you here, which is an ASP.NET website, which comes as part of the standard Dynamics CRM licensing, and which allows you to deliver some of your Dynamics CRM functionality out to your customer base. So you can see here, this is pretty much the customer portal as it comes out of the box. We've just done some light customization to it just to include our own logo on it, but everything else you see here is the out-of-the-box customer portal. And one of the areas of the customer portal is this case management area. And the case management, this links directly to my Dynamics CRM instance and displays all of the cases which this logged in user, which is Keith and Cook. So it displays all of the cases which Keith and Cook has created in the past. So I can switch this view to either display the active cases against Keith and Cook or his closed cases. So I also have the option at the bottom of the screen to create a new case. So clicking on that allows me to open a case and to enter in the details of that case. This is running a little bit slow on my machine because the website is being hosted locally on the laptop itself. So then I type in the details of the case itself, faulty AX330 mountain bike, for example. So most of the data that we have in our demo instance of Dynamics CRM relates to a mountain bike wholesalers. So that's the type of data we're entering here is related to that. So I'm going to say this is a problem, and let's say the gears aren't working correctly. And I also have the option here of adding an attachment to it. So if I wanted to include a picture, for example, or include a document or a PDF with further information about the case or which further describes the case, then I can do that via the attachment button. So then I can click Create Case. Just to say as well that the fields which are displayed here are the out-of-the-box fields, but we can completely tailor this form so that the fields which are available to entered by the user are completely configurable. We can add in extra fields to capture further details about the case. So click on Create Case. That will communicate with Dynamics CRM and will create a new case record with these details and with Keith and Cook's contact record attached to it. So, and that brings me back to the screen, and you can see here this is the final, the last record. Sorry, this one was created at this time is a record that we just created. This is actually a different time zone that's displaying here, which is why it displays 309. And if I go back into the active cases then and refresh that, you can see the new case has appeared now, which was created at 9 minutes past 2. There's a number of ways at getting at the case data itself. The most standard way is by navigating to the cases area of the service menu, but you can also access case records via what are called queues in CRM. And queues are basically ways of it's basically a way of allocating work to your support personnel. So, for example, if you have a number of people who deal with your support cases, then you can set up a queue that they can continue to monitor on a daily basis. And as cases come into the organization, they can pick those cases off the queue and deal with them as they come in. So I'm just going to go to this one. Sorry, I'll just go back to the So if I open up the case record from here, then you can see the various details on the case itself. So the title, etc., was what I entered on the customer portal, and the complainant was the person who was logged into the customer portal. The default subject here, that's just set to the default one, but I could also set this to, for example, the AX330. So I can just select that from my subject tree, and the subject tree is really a way of allowing you to group together your cases, so that if you wanted to do some further reporting on the cases themselves, then you can group that data together. The case category is a defective product. The priority is low, and this is the description then that I entered on the web form as well of the actual the details of the problem. So I can go ahead then and add in extra information about my case. I can add a Knowledgebase article, for example. So I can use the Knowledgebase area of CRM to search for structured information that's stored from within CRM, which will help me, or which will help your customer to resolve the case. So if I search here for AX330, that will bring up any of my Knowledgebase articles with that in the subject. I click OK on that to add it to the case. Then I can click this checkbox to show the article itself, and that will display the details of the article. So you can see here that the problem is that the faulty gears won't change, the solution is added here, and any additional comments. So this just gives you a very structured way of communicating with your customers, so that your support personnel don't have to type out these emails each time, or that they can go into the knowledge base if it isn't a problem that they've come across before, that your support personnel can go into the knowledge base, find out if someone else in the organization has already received a support case with a similar issue, and use that information to try and resolve the case. You've also got the ability to email the article directly to the customer using the email article link at the top, and that will just send out the knowledge base article details within the body of an email message, and that will relate this email back to the case itself, so that you can see within the history of that case that an email was sent regarding the case itself. The other main functionality within the cases is around contract management. So if your organization has service level agreements or has contractual arrangements with your customers for product support or for service level support, then you can use CRM to manage those contracts. So I can, whenever a case comes in from a specific customer, I can use this area of the case form to record details of the contract and the contract line that the service case has been resolved against. So, for example, if I select this contract, so I've set up a contract before which Keith & Cook has with us, a support contract that Keith & Cook has, and I go into the properties of that just so I can show you the various information that we're collecting on that. So just bring it up here. Sorry, it's already open here. So this is the contract itself. So you can see here, I just entered in a name for it. The customer is Keith & Cook. The date that the contract starts and ends on is recorded here as well. The customer, the billing details of how often the support contract needs to be billed, and the total price of the contract is stored within this. So that's the contract header. Then you've got the contract lines. So the contract lines then, so a contract header obviously can have multiple contract lines. So if you have a contract, a support contract, for example, that covers multiple products, you may want to include a separate contract line for each of the products within the support contract. And the contract line then stores details regarding the type of support. And this contract that I've created here is set up to be related to a number of cases. So the contract line that you can see here allows this customer to raise 20 individual cases with our organization. So this is what the customer has paid for, is 20 individual support cases. You could also base your contract lines on a time period, so it can be relating to a calendar period. And it can also be related to a certain number of hours. So if you wanted to give a certain number of hours or a certain number of days support to someone and then allow the customer to draw down that time against individual cases, that's the third possibility. So you can see here that this customer has 18 support cases remaining before they need to raise a new support agreement. So I'll enter in that as the contract and the contract line, and I said I wanted to provide gold service level in that, and I can also search for the product here. I said the product that's defective in this case is the AX330 mountain bike. So I'll save all that, which is the rest of my support case now is all fully filled in, and then at a later point in time, whenever the person has been in touch with the owner, to either email them to suggest possible resolutions or to send them to give them a phone call to talk through the issue on the phone. After a certain amount of time, you will want to resolve the case, hopefully. So you can do that by clicking on the resolved case. That will warn you if there are any open activities associated with the case, and if there are any activities associated with the case, then those must be closed before the case itself can be resolved. So in this instance, we have an activity entered in against the case itself, and this activity was just set up as part of a workflow. So whenever the case itself was created, a phone call activity was automatically created with the case to basically remind the support agent that they must phone the customer to talk through the issue that they've had with the AX330 mountain bike. So once that phone call has been made, the support agent can click on Mark Complete on that, and once that activity has been completed, then they can go back in and resolve the case itself. So you can see that the problem was solved. That changed the parts, total time, and then we have a billable time. So if your support contract is based on drawdown time, then you'll want to include the amount of time that was spent on this, so that it can be so that that can be subtracted from the overall time available on the support contract itself. So I'll say we spent 1 hour on this. And that will resolve the case itself. And you can see here, if I go back into the contract line now for this case, you can see here that this allotments used has been increased to 3 and the allotments remaining has been decreased to 17. Once that case was resolved, it automatically updated the contract line to display the amount of cases that this customer has remaining on their contract. So that's the case functionality is, there's a lot of functionality in there. Some of our customers use all of it, including the knowledge base and including the contracts functionality, and some other customers only choose to use certain aspects of it. So you can really choose yourselves as to which aspects of the case functionality are relevant to you. And again, once again, similar to what we covered in the sales and marketing webinars, everything that you see here is all completely customizable. So if you needed extra fields to be added to record further information, or if you wanted some of these fields to be removed because they're not relevant to you, then we have full control and we have full flexibility to allow you to do that. So cases is the main area, and everything really relates back to cases within the service management module of Dynamics CRM. But one of the other main areas of service management is around the service calendar. So if you have a requirement to, for example, schedule resources, whether they're field engineers or people who are office-based who need to be allotted a time to look after a case, or even we've even implemented Dynamics CRM in a surgery type environment where cases are being used to record details of appointments, and the service calendar is then used to set up doctors and to set up counsellor diaries for with patient information. So the service calendar allows you to do that. It'll show you based on all of your personnel. It'll show you when they are and aren't busy. So I can go into the service calendar and I can set up a new service activity for a specific service. So I'm going to say that this service is for a phone repair, for example. So just expand it out. So I say that this is broken phone, and the service required is a phone repair service. So this is going to require a field engineer. So within the service management functionality in CRM, you can set up services to allow you to specify which of your resources can carry out specific services. So within phone repair, I know that the phone repair service can be carried out by members of the phone repair team, and I've actually added a team into CRM with the names of people who are part of that team. So currently our phone repair team contains two different people. So you then specify the customer. So we'll take Keith and Cook again for this. And then it asks me if I want to specify which of the resources. So these are the 3 members of the phone repair team that we say can carry out this service. So I can specify explicitly which of these three resources I want to carry out the service, or I can leave that field blank and allow the scheduling action here to determine which of these resources are the most available. So clicking on the schedule button here opens up a new window. The service, as you can see here, is the phone repair service. The customer is Keith and Cook, and I can use this find available times button to look through these 3 resources and find which of them is available at between 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock as soon as possible. So I can say that this, for example, if Keith and Cook has specified that he's not available until next week or until tomorrow, then, and if he's specified that he's only available between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock, then I can enter that information into the service activity scheduling window and use that to find available times of my support personnel. So you can see here that Ken Mallet is available between 10 and 11, or between 10:15 and 11:15. So I can take any of these time slots, double click on it, and that will bring me back to my window. It will populate Ken Mallet as a resource who's going to carry out the service, and it will populate the times, the start and end time for the service activity itself. So if I save and close that, that will bring me back out to my window.